Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got something special lined up because this is one of the most requested videos lately. A ton of you have been asking, what's the best AI image generator right now? So I decided to put 3 of the top models head to head and really put them to the test. We're talking about GPT-1, the Flux Kontext Max, and Google's brand new Nano banana model. The goal here is simple. Run the same creative prompts through each, see how they stack up, and pick the one that truly stands out. Now, to keep things fair and transparent, I'm using a benchmarking system so it's not just based on personal taste. For every image, I'm scoring them on 4 main points. First up is prompt adherence. Does the image actually match what we asked for, or did it go off on its own adventure? Next is realism and authenticity, which basically means, does the result look believable or just off? Third is text rendering, which matters especially if we're asking for science.
One eternity later.
And last but not least is creative excellence, the wow factor.
A few moments later.
Of course, art is always subjective, so even if I pick a winner, your personal favorite might be totally different, and that's part of the fun. Let me know which one you'd pick as we go along. So here are our 3 competitors: GPT-1 image generator, Google's Nano banana model, which is actually built right into Gemini 2.5 Flash, and the Flux Kontext Max, which is all about next-level creative output. Each round, I'll use the exact same prompt with all 3, and we'll see which image generator comes out on top. For our very first round, I picked a prompt that's meant to push their creative limits. A majestic crystal city floating among ethereal clouds, illuminated by twin suns casting prismatic light through translucent spires, with winged guardians soaring between crystalline towers. Digital art style with hyper-realistic details, I sent that prompt to all 3. And by the way, if speed is important to you, Google's Nano banana model is by far the fastest. Its image pops up almost instantly. Flux isn't far behind, but GPT-1 can sometimes take up to a few minutes for a single image. So keep that in mind if you're in a hurry. Now for the results. Google's Nano banana actually listened to the prompt and included 2 suns, just as we asked, although one sun ended up being a kind of reddish. The overall creativity isn't bad, but compared to the others, it's just okay. Next, Flux Kontext Max really flexed its muscles here. This image is bursting with imagination. The city has a wild, dreamlike vibe, and yes, there are 2 suns, even if they aren't perfectly matched. The creative choices make it stand out big time. As for GPT-1, it didn't completely nail the twin suns part, but wow, the realism is next level. The clouds, the lighting, the whole atmosphere looks stunning. If I had to pick a winner for this round, it would be Flux Kontext Max for its boldness and creativity, even if it didn't hit every detail perfectly. Moving on to round 2, let's see how these models handle something a bit more dramatic. The prompt this time: an ancient dragon with iridescent scales sleeping in a cavern, filled with glowing gems and golden treasures, dramatic lighting with volumetric fog, concept art style with cinematic composition. Again, all 3 models got the same instructions. While we're waiting for the images to generate, let's take a quick look at how these models rank in public benchmarks. If you check the latest leaderboard for text-to-image models, Seedream 3.0 is actually at the very top, beating out most other models in terms of overall performance. Coming in second place is Google's Nano banana model, which you'll find built right into Gemini 2.5 Flash. Right behind that, in third, is GPT-4o, the engine behind GPT-1's image generation. Flux Kontext Max is a little further down, sitting at position 7, but honestly, it's only separated by a few points from the leaders if you look at the ELO rankings. So, on paper, these models are all pretty close, at least according to the public data. But, of course, those rankings are just numbers on paper. Today, we're putting them to the real test, side by side, to see what they can actually deliver when faced with some truly creative prompts. Google Nano Banana produced an image that felt a little too cartoonish for my taste. And while it did try to follow the prompt, the mood just wasn't there. Flux Kontext Max, on the other hand, delivered something that could be straight out of a fantasy movie. The lighting, the shimmering gems, Even the textures on the dragon all look incredible. GPT-1 brought its signature realism again with detailed crystals and a pretty epic-looking dragon. But it missed a bit of the fantasy vibe that Flux nailed. For me, Flux Kontext Max wins again here, thanks to its atmosphere and attention to detail. Now for something totally different. Our third prompt is all about underwater worlds. I asked for a sunken Atlantean metropolis with coral-encrusted Art Deco architecture, schools of luminescent fish swimming through building windows, merfolk citizens with scales that shift like liquid metal, giant sea creatures used as living transportation, bioluminescent kelp forests forming natural highways, underwater aurora effects from magical energy sources, photorealistic rendering with caustic light patterns. All three models went to work, and their results really highlight their strengths. GPT-1 did a great job with underwater effects. The way it handled the lighting and merfolk is beautiful, but the image leans a bit more toward digital painting than photorealism. Google's Nano Banana went all in on oceanic detail. Buildings covered in sea plants, fish weaving everywhere, and the vibe really does feel like an ancient underwater city. This time, Flux Kontext Max got super creative, but actually missed a few key prompt details like the specific creatures or the magical auroras. So in this round, I'm giving the point to Google's Nano Banana for sticking closest to the prompt, while still giving us a visually interesting scene. For round 4, we get really conceptual. Here's the prompt. Architectural representation of human memory, rooms containing floating photographs and experiences, corridors that shift based on emotional associations, furniture made of crystallized thoughts, inhabitants reliving moments in holographic form, nostalgic lighting that changes with memory age, surreal but psychologically accurate, museum-quality detail. With such an abstract concept, it's cool to see how each AI interprets it. GPT-1 comes through with a scene that actually looks like you're walking through someone's memories, and the floating photos are a nice touch. Google's model made everything feel very futuristic and organized, kind of like a sci-fi museum, but didn't go as surreal as I'd hoped. Flux Kontext Max went wild with this one. The lighting, the floating images, even the shape of the rooms are all creative and make you want to just stare at the image and find new details. Personally, I'd give the win to Flux again for how well it brought the abstract concept to life. The fifth prompt really tests world building. I went with a bustling interdimensional marketplace with vendors from 12 different realities, each stall selling impossible goods like bottled time and crystallized music, liquid emotions, customers that include humans, aliens, spirits, and geometric entities, currency exchanges made of pure energy, floating advertisements in 6 different alien languages, multiple gravity orientations, organized chaos with photorealistic detail. Here's where the differences between models really show. GPT-1 got the characters in there. Humans, some creatures, a variety of market stalls. But the overall realism was just okay. Google Nano Banana's version looked like a vibrant marketplace straight out of a high-budget video game, and it even managed to fit in different languages and a wild mix of customers. Flux Kontext Max delivered another gorgeous image, but missed some of the weird prompt-specific elements. There weren't any geometric entities or alien language signs. So for this round, Google Nano Banana takes the point for best matching the prompt and delivering that fun marketplace vibe. Now, for the final round, I wanted to really challenge all 3 models with something complex and full of little details. The prompt, single forest clearing, showing complete seasonal cycles simultaneously, trees in various stages of growth and decay, animals in different life phases coexisting, weather patterns overlapping, snow on spring flowers, autumn leaves falling on summer grass, multiple time streams visible as translucent layers, nature documentary quality with temporal complexity. This is tough for any AI. GPT-1 did well, showing different seasons and weather, but the style leaned more cartoonish than realistic. Google Nano Banana got super creative, but maybe went a little too wild and lost the clarity of the scene. Flux Kontext Max absolutely nailed it. There are clear indicators of each season, animals with changing fur, overlapping weather effects, and so many little details if you zoom in. For me, this last round goes to Flux, and honestly, it sealed the overall win. So, wrapping it up, Flux Kontext Max is my personal winner for creativity, realism, and just sheer wow factor. If you want sharp, high-quality images, GPT-1 is a strong choice, but you'll probably need to tweak your prompts for the best results. Google's Nano Banana is super quick and really good at following instructions, especially when your prompts are a bit more complex. But at the end of the day, what matters most is which images you actually like the most. Let me know down in the comments. Did you agree with my picks? Which one is your winner? And if you have a prompt you want me to try in the next video, drop it below, and I'll put these models to the test again. Thanks so much for watching, stay creative, and I'll see you in the next one.